What federal policies would ensure that energy America needs is affordable, reliable, and safe? The Pipeline and Hazardous Materials Safety Administration, or PHMSA, is the agency within the Department of Transportation responsible for overseeing pipeline safety. This is no small task. With over 3 million miles of oil, natural gas, and other hazardous liquid pipelines all across this nation. Good federal policy would ensure that pipeline operators have a clear understanding of the safety requirements. Federal regulations are based on data and address risk appropriately, and the regulations are cost-effective. So what was the previous administration's policy on pipeline safety? One maxim of politics is that personnel is policy. If that's the case, then the Biden administration didn't give a damn about pipeline safety because they didn't nominate anyone to be the PHMSA administrator. That's right. It's not that they nominated someone who withdrew and then withdrew that person. They simply never bothered to nominate any human being to lead the Pipeline Safety Agency. Instead, they relied on a deputy administrator for the entire 4 years, a position that is not confirmed by the United States Senate. That was a shameful dereliction of duty. Unfortunately, in that entire time, this committee never held a single hearing on pipeline safety for those entire 4 years, denying us any opportunity for oversight. So there was nobody nominated by the president in the position, nobody confirmed by the Senate in the position, and this committee held 0 hearings on pipeline safety. That gives you an indication of what priority they put on this topic. President Trump has corrected this error by nominating Paul Roberti to lead PHMSA. I hope to hold a hearing on his nomination very soon. The unaccountable Biden PHMSA also attempted to remake the Pipeline Safety Agency into a climate change agency, because every agency in the federal government under Biden was a climate change agency instead of doing what its damn purpose was. Not only duplicating the work of other agencies, but disregarding the explicit statutory language that Congress carefully negotiated. One egregious example of the Biden PHMSA's overreach is the natural gas leak detection and repair rule, in which PHMSA included the regulation of underground natural gas storage and liquefied natural gas facilities, despite the statute explicitly not including those among the list of facilities to be addressed by that rulemaking. It's notable that more actions finalized during the Biden PHMSA were overturned by a U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals than any other administration since Congress created the agency in 2004. Listen to that again. 21 years ago, Congress created that agency. The last 4 years under President Biden, they had more of their actions overturned by a federal court of appeals than any administration in history. I suppose that's not surprising, given that they didn't have anyone named to run the agency and they didn't have the Senate engaged in oversight on them. Fortunately, President Trump stopped the leak detection rule before it could be promulgated. This Congress, we have the opportunity to debate and to pass a pipeline safety reauthorization. Today's hearing is designed to help inform that discussion. One topic I expect to hear from the witnesses is the threat to pipeline safety from eco-terrorists. Though the current statute has penalties against individuals, quote, damaging or destroying an operational pipeline, it does not expressly address eco-terrorists who tamper with pipelines or damage pipelines under construction. The unauthorized turning of pipeline valves is a major safety concern that threatens the very environment that the eco-terrorists claim they're trying to protect. Pipeline operators have been forced to shut down their lines in response to threats from eco-terrorists. I'm proud to co-sponsor Senator Sheehy's Safe and Secure Transportation of Energy Act, which would close this gap in statute by adding, quote, vandalizing, tampering with, disrupting the operation or construction of, or preventing the operation or construction of a pipeline to the list of actions for which penalties could be applied. I also want to hear from the witnesses about ways that pipeline operators are seeking to improve the safe operation of their pipelines, but for which outdated or misguided regulations are currently barriers to greater safety. I look forward to the witnesses' testimony and their response to questions. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you, Senator Cruz, for that opening statement. We'll now move to member questions, and I'll begin with Mr. Leger. As I mentioned in my opening statement, I'm interested in using this PHMSA reauthorization to modernize our pipeline safety laws and to seize on opportunities that would allow industry to deploy innovative technologies to enhance safety within the broader ecosystem. Mr. Leger, can you provide an example of a promising safety technology and what legislative changes might be needed to promote further adoption of this technology or new technologies in general?
Absolutely, Senator Young. Thank you for the question. At CenterPoint Energy, we've certainly embraced new technology, as well as our other member companies that are associated with AGA. Have a couple of things that we work on. Number one of the things that I'm really most proud of that would certainly be helpful to have PHMSA weigh in on is we are currently deploying advanced metering technology. And that's a first in the industry. And we plan to install the 1 millionth meter of that this year. Over a 7-year period, we plan to replace every single one of our meters on our system with this advanced meter technology. So one of the things that this does, it is directly affects what you were talking about, is the safe operation of our system. So the meter that we are working with has a couple of sensors on the inside. One is a heat sensor. And if there's a fire on the inside of the house and the building wall gets to a certain temperature, it will automatically shut that meter off. Additionally, there's a flow sensor in there that when it gains flow that's excessive of what is normal through that meter, it will automatically shut that meter off, thereby providing safety features for the homeowner.